Hello everyone and welcome. Today's immersive rating spotlight is a bit interesting. So, as you remember a while back, I did a spotlight on a pack called the Small Gauge Goodies. Um, and it's still to this day, one of my favorite packs. It was made by a person named Rhea, who is known for making very eccentric trains. Take that as you will. Um, and I did a pack spotlight on the small gauge goodies. Well, about 2 or 3 days ago, she approached me on Discord and said, I have a pack for you that I would like you to spotlight for me. And when I found out what it was going to be, I was very happy. I'm more than happy to be doing this. Hold on. For a couple of reasons. One, I really enjoy her work. Two, this is probably the strangest pack that you'll see for immersive rarity out currently. Now, when I say that Rhea does extremes, I'm not entirely wrong. While I wouldn't consider the small gauge goodies the extreme end of the small spectrum, it is small. It's one of two packs that utilize the Minecraft gauge. Well, this new pack is the opposite end of the spectrum. I would like to welcome you to Rhea's huge gauge goodies. Now let me get closer so you can get a sense of scale here. Say hello to the Magnapotus pattern light shunting engine. And yes, this is a light shunting engine. I'd like to clarify for the record. This is not meant as a normal engine. This is meant for shunting. This is a part of the huge gauge goodies pack that Rhea has put out and is inspired by the Warhammer 40k universe. Now, if you're not aware of the Warhammer 40k universe, you're probably not a massive nerd like I am. Long story short, imagine somewhere like industrial steampunk mixed with like Christianity and space travel is the best way of putting it. It's really hard to kind of define it, but long story short, there's a thing called Ryza. It's a planet that is so massive and is used just entirely for production that literally you need, like, trains this size are used to move stuff around. Now, there's no specific this is what they look like. So Rhea kind of designed this off of her own. But that being said, it's something to behold. I won't deny it's something to behold. The Ryza gauge that these are meant to be run on is about 5 meters wide, if I remember correctly. That is 5 meters from inside rail to inside rail. As you can see, there's 5 blocks between them. And is, to date, the biggest gauge that immersive railroading has currently that has locomotives made for it. Now, something needs to be said. Rhea is... how do I describe Rhea? Her eye for detail is something to behold. Now, while Adam's locomotives, Adam does the stuff like the heavy industrial and that kind of stuff. While his stuff has nice detail, it's small. The detail is small. Rhea does the opposite. Her detail is still small, but on a massive scale. So, for example, this is the coupler. The coupler has chains that hook up to the other end of the coupler. I don't have another car here to show you, but you'll see in a second. And the chains have chains holding them up. the couplers themselves are made to hook into each other such that they will perfectly align and be able to, well, work, for lack of a better term. Going up onto here, and this is normally an area that you can't access due to where the bridge is, and that's actually what it's called on these things. She has made these massive statues. We've got altars everywhere. Again, very much in the theme of Warhammer 40k here. You've got a bunch of these insignias, which are kind of the Warhammer 40k insignia, if you will. I'm going to be just, like, showing you everything at this point, because this is really what it is. You've got... I mean, I don't even know how you'd reach these valves, but the valves are there. Just to kind of prove a point. These are the... From what I understand, these are actually the boilers, I believe. And these down here are generators, I think. Rhea might need to correct me on that. I think these are generators and the boilers are on top. But, anyways, kind of getting sidetracked here. Going up on top, if I right click on here, you'll see that Rhea has made a full-on bridge to this thing. And it's pretty impressive, actually. Now, when I said attention to detail, I truly mean attention to detail. I don't know what half of this stuff means. I think it's from the Warhammer 40k books. I might be wrong, but I think that that's what it's from. It's not the best quality. I can't really read it very clearly. That might just be my end. I'm not sure. But it's still pretty awesome. You've also got the I don't even know what the official term for these are. Communication tubes, I guess, to go to the various other parts of the train. Now, again, this is a light shunting engine. I'd like to reiterate that. This is a light shunting engine. Rhea also did whole new sounds for everything in here, so... Very nice. Now, if I zoom out here, and like, you can see I can't even see the whole engine. But if I start putting some throttle into it, you'll see it's not exactly the fastest thing ever because it's so heavy. It also makes, well, quite the cloud too, which is something kind of neat to me. Now, the track does not end. I have laid down 1,000 blocks long just for this small run. But, I mean, you're likely to probably, in a length, you're probably going to see maybe 3 cars, and that's it, depending on your render distance. They are pretty massive things. Now, before we get up ahead, I do want to point out something really quickly. The wheels. This is something that I neglected to mention. All the wheels are custom made and are rather detailed. This is true actually with a lot of the Ryza gauge stuff, and you'll see what I mean by it in a second. But you can see they've got nice skulls on them, and that's on both sides too. Sorry to kind of stop there, but nope. Whoops. Come on. Now, let me run over here really quickly. You'll see we've got 2 more tracks here, and this is why. As we start along, you'll see some stuff come in. I might actually clip this slightly. No, just barely clip that. Talk about barely making it. This is a passenger car. But even better is in front of it. This right here is why I'm so glad that I'm able to show this pack off to you. And hopefully the engine will stop soon enough that I don't accidentally run off the end of the track. This, folks, right here is the Ventus Gloria pattern mass conveying engine. aka a really massive bloody diesel. Uh, there's no other way of describing this thing. It is truly just a massive diesel. uh, you can see where each of the engines are for all the motors. Same on the other side. And again, attention to detail is just beautiful. Again, some more Warhammer 40k kind of stuff, but there's no real words to describe how massive and like intricate this thing is. I mean, look at this. I mean, I know I kind of glitched into space there, but I mean, it's truly a massive beast to behold. Now, the front of it is a whole nother fascination. It's a giant, essentially, castle wall. Is the best way to describe it. I'm sorry. I just noticed that all the sound wasn't playing. I'm very sorry about that. 1 second. This is what it sounds like. I'm very sorry about that. I completely and totally forgot to turn that back on. Sorry about that. But anyways, going back over here. And as you can see, if we go up top here, a lot more of this beautiful detail. You can see the massive smokestacks needed just for this thing. And yes, the entire back half is just a giant engine. Goes to show how much power you need for something this massive. But anyways, going into the bridge of this massive behemoth, you have to go all the way down here just to click on it. You can see, once again, Rhea has created beautiful controls. You've got 2 front seats. Let me really quickly... Excuse me, I'm recording this right after having eaten, so I'm very sorry about me burping. But you can see just attention to detail is just beautiful. I love the skull, too. Now, like I said, she has made custom sounds for everything. This is technically not a custom sound, but that is the horn for this thing. It's truly a sight to behold. I mean, there's no real other words for it. It's, if you want to move the world, this is your engine. Long story short. Now, going on to the next thing, we have the, and I've forgotten the name of this thing already, the Basilica pattern mass conveyor car, sorry. And this thing's kind of interesting because it has a loading dock, or a loading platform here, which I think is really cool. The one downside is that this doesn't really have an inside to it right now. I'm hoping that Rhea does include a inside to it later. Though I'm not sure if she will at this point. But again, just, I mean, it's low poly, but I mean, the detail on this thing is just beautiful. And again, you really have to kind of load this into the game and see yourself just to appreciate the massive size of this thing. It's something. Also, because Rhea was aware that you'd see the underside a lot of the time, she has made the entire underside really nicely. I mean, you can see, and I'm having trouble getting into the trucks, but like, the trucks are made, like, there's stuff on the inside of the trucks, because she knows that you're going to see that stuff. I mean, it's truly, it has no equivalent anywhere else. Let me put it that way. Now, of course, you can't just have a train pack without some freight. This is the, I'm going to butcher this name badly, I'm sorry. Cara Cactus pattern light. I want to emphasize light mass conveyor tanker. This is the tank car for it. And again, some really beautiful artwork. This is the area that you can stand on. It's at the very front. For reference on, let me actually get in here so you can see how much storage this has. That's how much storage it has. It has 5,581 buckets worth of storage space. I want to let you have that sink in for a bit. That's about the size of a small ocean in Minecraft. Roughly. This thing can move oceans. I mean, Rhea does not go halfway. She goes whole hog. Again, underside really beautifully made. You can see where the attachment ports are. I'd hate to have to be the one to hook up that hose. Also, I just noticed you can even see like a screw-in pattern on inside of there. Some threads. That's kind of cool. But yeah, you can see that all the pipes in all these creations actually lead to exactly where they should. So like you can see these lead to the bottom of these tanks. Like that's not something you'll normally find. But Rhea did it. Why? Because she cares about attention to detail. That's why. Now, next up is the, what is this called? The Herodium. Oh, that's precious, Rhea. I have not seen the name for these beforehand, just as a quick note to everyone. Herodium. So, the running joke is that Rhea made a while ago a locomotive that we're still trying to get into the mod. The issue is that it's essentially the steam version of the diesel. It is called the Goliath. It's a steam locomotive. It's a massive, essentially Garrett type locomotive, meaning that there are two sets of driving wheels on either end of the locomotive with a frame in the middle. And the two driving wheels pivot at the very ends of the frame. The code doesn't really support it yet, so it's not really in the mod, but there's a running joke of it being the Heretic Express. I'm fairly certain that's where the name for this thing comes from. If so, very funny, Ray. Very clever. Now, again, sense of scale wise, that's about the size of a Minecraft player. Roughly. Look how small that is. This thing can hold, and also this, by the way, does render loads. Let me get... let me just really quickly get some stuff, and it's probably not going to render a whole lot of it, but... Like... as you can see, there's a lot of inventory space. But... and it should have loaded in one of them. Oh wait, let me just... No. One of these has got to be... Oh, hello. I'll just use this. Get in there! I'm just trying to fill this thing up. Yep, there we go. So, for sense of scale, these are shipping containers. And for what I understand, these are roughly actually the size of... I think they're slightly... they're less wide than an actual shipping container, but they're roughly the size of a shipping container. So, as you can imagine, this thing gets quite colorful. And let me actually unload this so you can see, or pick this up so you can see just how much space this thing has. Oh, I don't think I picked it up. Oh, there it is. That's how much it can hold. It's that big. Like, again, Rhea does not go halfway with these things. So, and for reference, here is the information for the two other locomotives. This is the massive diesel that's right off to my left. And this is the light shunting engine. This is the steam engine. As you can see, it's not super fast, but it can pull the world, essentially. Both of them can practically pull the world. Again, here is the conveyor. There, or here's the conveyor. Here's the tank car. My bad. And then this is how heavy the passenger car is. Yeah, I could understand that. So, Rhea, you've Rhea, you kind of outdone yourself with this. I don't really have words to describe what I'm looking at. I mean, anything that I could say either is not putting it good enough or I've said already. It's truly, they are something to behold. All of your engines are something to behold. And I love each of them because they're so beautiful. Something that I do kind of am sad about is that you can't really see the driving rods. But I mean, realistically, why would you need to when you can't even see the fucking track in front of, like, here. Let me put brakes on full, so, like, you can't even see the track in front of you. So, realistically, if you can't see the track in front of you, why would you need to see the wheels? Let me actually just leave that running for a small bit. See the wheels spinning all nice. It just kind of disappears into the smoke. Which is, this is the only engine that can disappear into its own smoke. So imagine what the Goliath is going to be like when that comes out. It's going to be pretty spectacular. I for one cannot wait to see what else you come up with next, Rhea. What you have made here is something special, and I really wish that all of you that are watching this go and download this and truly enjoy the amazingness that Rhea has created. It is something that you really need to see to believe. In the sense of scale, it's something. I'll put it that way. It's something. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this mod spotlight of me literally gushing over Rhea's rolling stock because of how beautiful they are. But as always, I've been DJ Zelix, or if you're from the new channel, Derailed Gaming. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, leave a like and possibly even a comment. I will be putting a download link in the description for when this is all ready. And if you want to see more mod spotlights like this, or you want to see more gaming footage, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that little bell icon so you get notified when I post up a new video. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.